I'm about as real as they come.
All my beats tailored by Joe. House Digital.
Maserati Rick in Detroit. Convertible bird in Miami. Graduated summa cum laude. Strip club made a tsunami. Carlton Hines with the ball game. Grateful Edmonds with the snowflakes. Craig Pettis in the M-Town. Sal Magluta with the boat game. Falcone with the cocaine. Like Freeway Ricky with the plug game. Like Monster Cody in South Central. Larry David.
Detective also testified that cell phone data and videos posted show 3 defendants in the area of the murder scene. Investigators say the motive was drugs and money. They say Coleman was a large-scale cocaine dealer who often kept kilos of cocaine and as much as $100,000 at the house.
The grieving relatives of a mother and teenaged son found dead this week in their Spotsylvania County home.
The relatives are making an appeal for money to help with the funeral arrangements. The woman's boyfriend was also found dead.
Tonight, we're getting a closer look at the scene of this tragedy. Northern Virginia Bureau Chief Julie Carey joins us live from Spotsylvania tonight. Julie?
Well, neighbors here tell me that Michael Coleman bought this property only about 6 months ago and was working to fix up the home for his family. But on Wednesday, Coleman, his girlfriend Rachel Ozuna, and her teenage son were found dead inside the home. A baby and toddler inside were spared. Now Ozuna's grieving relatives making an appeal for funds to help take care of those orphans and for funeral arrangements. With this GoFundMe picture, we are seeing for the first time 3 victims of terrible violence. Kairos and Rachel Ozuna and her boyfriend Michael Coleman. They were found dead inside their home Wednesday morning. Also discovered there alive, the couple's 2 children, a baby and a toddler. Rachel Ozuna's relatives in Utah writing on the GoFundMe page, "Our families and community are completely devastated. No reason imaginable is reason enough for these 3 to meet their end the way they did." There is grief, too, among the middle school classmates of 14-year-old Kairos. This teen spoke to News 4's Drew Wilder on Thursday.
You didn't deserve this at all, and I feel really bad about it. And I feel bad for his family and all that. I don't know.
The victims were found by the teen's father when he came by the house Wednesday morning. Neighbors saw him crying outside after the sheriff's deputies arrived, responding to his call for help. Spotsylvania County Sheriff's investigators spent 2 days collecting evidence here, even searching the woods across the road. They are saying little about what happened here, only that the 3 were killed by a sharp object. With the crime scene tape lifted today, we are getting a closer look at the scene. Neighbors tell me Coleman had just recently bought this house and was trying to fix it up for the family, who had lived in the Fredericksburg area for several years. Parked on the property today, 9 different trucks and luxury vehicles. We're told investigators towed away some other vehicles. And there is also lots of construction equipment and supplies. The only outward sign of the horrible incident that claimed 3 lives, the fingerprint dust covering the front door of the home. Now, Michael Coleman's relatives live in Fredericksburg. I spoke to them briefly today, but they told me it's simply too soon for them to speak. NBC News also made contact with Rachel Ozuna's brother, and he sent them a brief statement by email saying, "We have too many questions we need answered before we'll be putting out any family releases." We are hoping to get more of those answers from the medical examiner's office over the weekend. Back to you now in the studio.
Thank you, Julie. Julie Carey reporting live.
There's horrifying new evidence emerging tonight about a triple murder in Spotsylvania County nearly 2 years ago. A mother, her boyfriend, and her teenage son all found dead. And now we are learning more about a possible motive. Pat Lawson News is in the newsroom with the details. Pat?
Erica, there was a preliminary hearing today for 3 of the 5 Philadelphia men charged with first-degree murder in this case. It was May 29th, 2019, when Rachel Ozuna, her 14-year-old son Kairos, and her boyfriend Michael Coleman were discovered in their home, all 3 bound with their throats slashed. 2 other children were spared. A deputy's body cam video played in court today showed the mother's body on the nursery floor, her 2-year-old son standing next to her. A baby daughter was strapped into a swinging infant seat nearby. And for the first time, detectives revealed they believe the murders took place 3 days earlier, which means the children were alone in the house all that time. Detectives also played a chilling 911 call from the teenager's father, who had come to check on his son. He sobs throughout the 12-minute call as the dispatcher asks, "What do you think is going on in the house?" He replies, crying, "Somebody got murdered." "Where's your son?" the dispatcher asks. "He's in the bathroom, tied up and in a pool of blood," the father answers. The lead detective also testified that cell phone data and videos posted show 3 defendants in the area of the murder scene. Investigators say the motive was drugs and money. They say Coleman was a large-scale cocaine dealer who often kept kilos of cocaine and as much as $100,000 at the house. The judge ruled there is enough probable cause to move this case forward. There's a hearing still pending for 2 other defendants.
Yo, we back. It's your boy Popalot. Mobb, ties. We on our way to Spotsylvania County with this shit. Matter of fact, Fredericksburg. But the story got strong ties to Philly. So if you in Fredericksburg, matter of fact, if you in Nova or VA, y'all tap in, get in the comment box. Y'all know how we run it. And Philly, y'all already know what it is, man. It's like second home. Y'all definitely get in the comment box. Now today, we are going to be telling a gruesome tale, fucking horror movie that took place in and around the end of May 2019. The dates of importance with this story is going to be May 25th through May 29th. Now, we're going to kind of backtrack starting on May 29th in 2019. Authorities would go to 8312 Arlene Drive, which is located in Fredericksburg, Virginia. And they would find the bodies of 3 people, 1 minor, 1 male, 1 female, along with a toddler and an infant baby. The infant baby and the toddler would still be alive. News reports report that one was strapped in a swing, the other one was loose and free. So backtracking to those dates, we're gonna move forward from May 29, 2019. It would be a year later where police would charge 5 people from Philadelphia with the triple murder. And those 5 people that was charged was going to be a guy by the name of Jamal Bailey, 30 years old, a guy by the name of Hugh Green, 30 years old, a guy by the name of Christopher Myers, 30 years old, a guy by the name of Duwad Allen, 27 years old, and a guy by the name of Montel Wilson, who is also 26 years old. Now, it's different ties to this story. Now, they have a trial date set coming up for August, where evidence is going to be presented, and the fact that shows that not only that Wilson and Allen are half brothers, but it's also going to show that Montel Wilson is the nephew of Coleman's ex-wife. And we're not quite sure when, but it was reported that Coleman lived in the Philadelphia area at some point in time, which would make sense if he was married to Montel Wilson's aunt. Now, the way they were put on, or the way I guess they targeted him, we all know they said it was for large drugs. At first glance of the story, before digging and doing research, I'm thinking like, oh well, maybe they just took him off. Maybe the young boys got the plug. Who knows what the situation was? But after digging deeper, hearing that stood out to be interesting to me. And not only that, it was also stated, or is going to be presented at trial, that video that was recovered from one of the suspects, the one suspect that the video was recovered from is unknown, but it's going to show all of the suspects at a strip club in Philadelphia on June 1st in 2019, displaying large stacks of $20 bills, $100 bills, and the implication was going to be that they had got that money from the robbing and murder of Coleman. They're also going to present evidence that's going to show phones associated with the suspects had left Philadelphia on the morning of May 25th. And that's also important because that kind of starts the date that I talked about, from May 25th to May 29th, 2019. And they're going to say that they later were determined to be located at the Quality Inn in Fredericksburg, which you can probably see right off Interstate 64 going right down. Now, amongst numerous evidence that's going to be presented during the trial is going to be a picture of Bailey and Allen at the pool at that Fredericksburg motel. So, what did that tell you, you guys? Man, the phones are always going to, the phones and the internet, man, they gonna have more evidence on you than the detectives, man. That's all I'm gonna, I don't even gotta, if you don't know, you don't know. But it would later go on to show that the phones would leave the Fredericksburg area at about 1:30 p.m. on May 26th. And that's according to the prosecution's evidence, and they were back in Philadelphia later that day. So this is just a wild story. It's almost like a lot of circumstantial evidence kind of tied in. I wanted to see kind of what y'all think, but I also wanted to get the discussion going that, like, it's almost, you can't really, this story went to show me, the main thing I took from the story is it meant to show me, like, no matter where you go, you really can't hide if the wolves is out there or if the wolves know about you. So, but niggas posting the money on the internet and you around and you active out here, and just the internet, I'm telling you, the internet and phone's gonna be the downfall of the game, man, if it wasn't already. But I say that to say that where he was located, that shit was like ducked off and shit like that. Well, it ain't like you following him to an apartment complex and they still found him. So y'all stay safe, man. It's your boy Popalot, man. Y'all make sure y'all follow me on Instagram, on Twitter, POP_8_LOT. Y'all get in the comment box. Let me know who we need to cover, where we need to go next. We want to send condolences to the Ozuna family, to Michael Coleman's family. And we're going to be back with some more real trill spill shit, letting y'all know what's going on. Mobb, ties.